the village that my family hails from, so this is where my roots are. And I always grew up believing that the entire village was my family. 2009 was the worst drought the area had seen, and in fact in 2010 was reserved seat for women. It was these very men who are almost the same age as my grandpa who came to me to convince me to become the Sarpanch. They felt they had that right on me, and of course I think they do as well. The last company that I worked with was Airtel, and I was heading the sales, the corporate sales team. At the end of 2008, I had started my own horse riding academy. At the same time, my mom was running a small hotel in Jaipur. It's called Kerubji, and I was ready to transition from working in the corporate sector to taking over the family business and running this hotel. The request was made instantly in my head, thought that here is an opportunity for me to do something for the very home that is my village, where I come from. And if as the daughter of the village I don't come forward to help, how can I possibly expect an outsider to, given the time, etc., to do so? But they turned around and then said, oh, you don't have to worry. We have 2 meetings in the panchayat in the month. And so make sure you're there for those. And there's 1 meeting at the block level, so make sure you're made available for that. And the rest we'll take care of. And that's when I was like, no, you will not be able to use me as a puppet, which is what I realized is what perhaps was on their mind. Those within the system in particular were not too sure how to deal with this new face and someone different from what they were used to. Along with which I would also question the system and question individuals and people sitting in positions of power. So obviously that doesn't go down too well. Our very first challenge was water. We didn't have safe drinking water available. What the people were drinking was the naturally contaminated and extremely saline water from the from underground. And I actually ran pillar to post from day one, trying to figure out what funds we could possibly get through the government, be it the state or the center, even from the private sector. So I ran pillar to post from February through till end of May. Didn't get much support from anywhere. My family and friends pulled out money from that little hotel that my family runs and raised 20 lakhs of rupees in a span of 4 days. I wasn't able to raise money to complete the project, but out of the 100 acres, we desilted 10 acres. And 2010, we saw a great monsoon, and with the very first shower, the area that we desilted had filled up. I don't think that really the village had really seen work happen that quickly, and the projects we took over thereafter, the participation only just increased because I am seen as the daughter, and also because of the strong emotional connect I have had with the village elders. It's actually worked to my advantage. So when we were constructing roads, when we started with that process, and because of encroachments, the broad roads are now more or less narrow lanes in many villages. So all that I shared with the villagers in the Gram Sabha was that you got to think ahead. If today you have 2-wheelers, tomorrow someone in the family will graduate to owning a 4-wheeler. And Lord forbid, if there's ever a need of a fire brigade or an ambulance, if you don't have the required road width, how is that vehicle going to come in? And that's all I had to say. And the very next day, there were these folks who took me to their ward, and they went to the extent of breaking down entire walls of the houses on their own accord to provide us the required road width. My vision is not rising above in the structure of power, but it's more about connecting the dots, bringing in people with different expertise, collaborating with people and coming together so that we can create a model village in the true sense. I think the only opposition that I really have faced has primarily, I'd say, been because of the kind of media attention I've received. But for those who feel threatened or insecure, so they have tried to push me back, not 10 but 20 steps behind. So as a result of that, some of them they think of me as being vulnerable, being a woman, and therefore I was once even physically, not once but twice physically assaulted while I was carrying out the project, which was a demand of the central government, not even our panchayat project. Police, which was supposed to provide me the required assistance as an elected representative, failed to do so. So that's where I said the system wasn't really supportive. Clearly, I made a lot of money when I was in the corporate sector or the private sector. And through this job, given the fact that I choose to work honestly and with complete transparency, wherein I don't take bribes, I don't give bribes, I don't give commissions, I don't take any commission. So the honorarium that we have in Rajasthan for a serpent is only 4,000 rupees a month, which clearly does not even meet my mobile bill or the fuel cost. But I can say with my own personal experience that the joy you get and the satisfaction you get in seeing that you've been able to uplift and help someone else's life and empower someone else is far, far more than the big bucks that the corporate or the private sector can give us.